how to write a powerful motivation letter that is going to get you into a master's degree at Sciences Po. After I have made videos about my experience studying at Sciences Po, I have received so many messages and comments from you asking for help to write your motivation letter to get into Sciences Po. And you know what? I thought to myself, when applying for my degree, had friends who have already been in Sciences Po, so they were able to show me their personal statements and also give me feedback on mine. So I thought, as one part of this process, I would love to share my motivation letter so that it gives you ideas on how to present yourself, how to structure your motivation letter, and what to mention to ensure your spot in the most prestigious diplomatic university in France. Let me know in the comments below if it's helpful, if there is anything else that I could do to support your application to Sciences Po. I'm more than happy to share because, again, I was once in your shoes trying to find the best way of presenting myself and my skills to get in. And just FYI, to be very precise, I applied for a master's degree in international security with concentration on diplomacy and Africa in 2018, or for a 2018 start. It's going to be super interesting for me to read it because I haven't in years, and I wrote it back in 2017, which has been a very long time ago. And it is kind of crazy how much my life has changed since then. But we're not going to get into life reflections. Let's do it so that I don't waste your time. Having been educated in Poland, England, Kenya, and Tanzania, the issues of international security became a central part of my academic interests. My involvement with international community first developed through participation in extracurricular activities and foundation courses of a law degree. However, it was School of Oriental and African Studies, SOAS, that challenged and consolidated my knowledge about global affairs and narratives from the global south. Dual degree in international relations and Swahili, complemented by experiences from living and studying in East Africa, drew my attention to the threat of Al-Shabaab expansion to the island of Zanzibar. Therefore, I am reassured that undertaking masters in international security would be the most suitable continuation of my education and self-development. Sciences Po academic excellence and research opportunities would prepare me for working in diplomacy of the region in East Africa. My fascination with international relations has started where, as a brown belt Polish karate national team representative, I was first exposed to the world of different cultures. I deepened my interests by participating in the international sessions of the European Youth Parliament, which made me realize the gravity, plurality, and complexity of issues in global affairs. Prompted by the volunteering projects in organizing workshops for international students in a kindergarten and co-hosting Israeli students for a project focused on international dialogue, I decided to engage more closely with international relations as a law student. During my first year, I focused on analyzing the structures of international organizations, such as the EU and UN, which, combined with courses on public international law, made me appreciate the insights into modern international politics offered by legal perspectives. However, after an internship in a law firm, I became determined to redirect my self-development, and I successfully applied to the School of Oriental and African Studies, where I am currently finishing a joint degree in international relations and Swahili. The extremely diverse university community and the methodologies offered in the course of renowned academics have challenged my idealistic approach to international cooperation by complementing my hetero, Eurocentric perspective with insights from the global south. The core modules of international relations, including mainstream and revisions IR theories, enable me to conduct sophisticated analysis of power dynamic of the current world structures in, for example, International Monetary Fund and its engagement in Africa, which I presented in my essays. Moreover, the courses of Politics of the World Economy and Globalization and Global Governance deepened my understanding of the complexity of the relations between world politics and economy. It is Africa, however, which has been the chief area of my interest. Thus, supervised by Professor Stephen Chan, I have undertaken a research project focusing on international criminal justice and its exercise in African states, especially the dynamics of the International Criminal Court, ICC, and its effectiveness in dealing with political leaders of Kenya, Uganda, and the Ivory Coast. My final conclusions will be based on the reports I took while attending the trial hearings of Ongwen Gbagbo and Blegaude, I have been able to conduct such specialized research thanks to a number of modules on politics, governments, economics, and political thought in Africa, which provided me with comprehensive interdisciplinary knowledge of the region. Prompted to go for a year abroad in Kenya and Tanzania, I complemented my theoretical expertise with personal observations and linguistic immersion, two crucial elements for a thorough understanding of the region. While in Africa, I had an opportunity to master Swahili and experience how politics, culture, and traditions intersect in East Africa. My reflections took a form of a paper delivered at a SOAS conference on African philosophy titled Swahili Praise Poetry of Political Leaders of Kenya and Tanzania, in which I compared the usage of Swahili by Kenyan and Tanzanian citizens towards, respectively, Kenyatta, and Nyerere. Moreover, I provided a research paper about corruption, conducted and written in Swahili, in which I drew connections between language and the increase of corrupt practices in everyday life of Kenyan citizens. Thus, SOAS has provided me with strong research, analytical, and linguistic skills. It was, however, to a large extent thanks to my professional life as an au pair working for very demanding clients that I learned how difficult yet crucial communicating across cultural boundaries can be. During the 4 years of providing childcare services for families varying from immigrant to English upper class aristocracy, I have significantly developed human relations skills. This work experience, undertaken along my studies, challenged me to become extremely efficient with my time to balance academic and professional life simultaneously. I trust that work ethic, problem solving, and management skills developed through my professional engagements will prove invaluable in my postgraduate academic development and future career. I intend to continue my studies and consolidate my knowledge in the field of international security at PSIA. The program it offers is the most appealing for a future job in diplomacy because of its core modules in strategy, security, and global economics. I could learn more about strategic assessment of trends in security threats and become better acquainted with the most influential contemporary thinkers, researchers, and policymakers. Regional specialization featuring PSIA's offer would allow me to further develop my interest in Africa. Having closely observed the growth of Al-Shabaab supporters in the islands of Zanzibar and Pemba, I am determined to broaden my knowledge about other security issues in Africa, especially through such courses as Thierry Virculon Security Issues in Sub-Saharan Africa. Furthermore, recognizing that the ability to communicate in French is of critical importance for a successful career in global affairs, I intend to fully benefit from the exposure to this language in Paris by further developing my linguistic skills. I am convinced that my thorough academic training in international affairs and the range of extracurricular experiences will allow me to fully participate in classes at PSIA and make the most out of the Masters of International Security program by deepening my expertise in Africa's affairs and security. Whew, that was quite a long one. I think you get the idea of how I merged everything that I have done throughout my life to showcase that I am a perfect candidate for studying international security. Let me know in the comments down below if it has been helpful to you and if you have used any techniques or structure of my motivation letter to accelerate yours. And here is something for you if you're applying for a master's degree at Sciences Po. I want you to visualize how you're going to feel when you receive an acceptance letter from Sciences Po. I'm going to share with you the acceptance email that I have received from Sciences Po in 2017, and I want you to take a screenshot of it, open it up in Canva or any other photo editing tool, delete my name, add yours, print it out, and with that vision in mind, work on your application and your motivation letter until perfection. Good luck, and come back to this video to let me know if your journey at Sciences Po begins.